Hey guys, what's up? What's good gaming here? I'm here with Diversity Gaming. Say hi, bro.
What up, man?
And we're here for a top 10 drift cars. Now, these are all completely opinion based, and if you guys have any other cars you would like us to just put into this list, feel free to comment down below, or just any other just car list in general to do. Please comment again down below. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the video. Now, at our number 10 spot, we have the Buffalo, and Diversity will tell you why.
Alright guys, we have this at the 10 spot just because of how heavy it is and how, like, I don't know how to put it, how much oversteer it gets. It doesn't have a very high acceleration, so you can't really take corners, like doubling up on corners. Like, if I were to have a car that was lighter and had a little bit less oversteer with tons more wheel spin, I could have probably taken this corner and the next one within a matter of seconds just from drifting once. This car is an extremely heavy car, lots of oversteer like I said, not much tire spin, but it does deserve a spot on the top 10 list in our opinions alone. Thanks.
And now, on to number 9. Now, at our number 9 spot, we have the Sultan RS.
Hey guys, it's at the 9 spot just because of, as you can tell, it has lots of grip. This is an all-wheel drive car, and it doesn't have the high acceleration like it needs, but it can still drift around corners pretty easily. Once you get the hang of it, like in the making of this video, it took me probably a minute or two just to get used to it from the Buffalo. So, in all consideration, this is a pretty decent car for drifting, but it needs to be higher in the acceleration. Even though there is a turbo on this, but it still needs lots and lots of acceleration and wheel spin. It has the right amount of steering. It's not like the Buffalo where it had lots of oversteer, but that's why, or that's my explanation.
And now, on to number 8. Now, at the number 8 spot, we have the race car Masacro.
Hey guys, yeah, this is at number 8 just because of its high acceleration, not because we just wanted to throw in like some weird car. This was a excellent car to drift in. I loved it. It is actually really fun to drift in. It has just the right amount of steering, like oversteer and understeer. I hate when those semis come around the corners and you have no clue that they're there. But it's got lots of wheel spin, it's got perfect steering, it's lightweight. You can, if you're an experienced drifter, get 2 turns in like I just attempted to. But it's not the best drifter, not compared to in the top 3. But that's all I gotta say about this car.
Now, on to number 7. Now, number 7, the Sentinel.
Hey guys, yeah, this car, okay, this car has a lot of oversteer, lots of wheel spin, but not the best acceleration. It performs well when you're not at the docks like we are. This is a pretty decent car to be driving with, but once you get the hang of it, it's a fairly excellent car. I wouldn't drive this and drift with this in my free time. I would prefer something with a lot more wheel spin and less oversteer. This is just a brick, is what it feels like when you're driving with it. It's heavy, long, and just slow in most cases. I don't like how when a wheel spins at the wrong time, like at the end of the drift, I don't like that. But at the end of the drift, it seems to be actually quite slow, and it's not as fun to drifters. So that's all I gotta say about this car. Just not the best.
And now on to number 6. And at number 6, guys, we have the Phoenix.
Hey guys, yeah, this is a fairly fun car to drive and drift in. It, like the Sentinel, just feels like a heavy brick, but I like when its wheel spins at the end. Like I said, on the Sentinel, I did not like how it wheel spinned at the end of the drift, just because you couldn't get the best drift like that. But on this car, it seems to drift longer than it should, which I personally like. I'm not sure about any others, but this is a pretty decent car to drive. I like drifting, and this is one of my favorite cars. It looks amazing going through the drifts with that high-rise wing. I love the wheel spin. I love the overturn on it. It just is a perfect combination with the two. I like the acceleration that it gets off of the drifts, unlike some of the cars that we've done. It's very slow off the drift, but within these, it's fairly fun to do. I like drifting around cars, like in head-on places, like the highway. It tests your skills of drifting when you're in a stress test. So if you guys want to do that, that's pretty fun. We just do kind of a figure-8 motion here. It's practice. Within every car that we test, it takes a few minutes to get used to. This one, it felt like the number 1 car, so it was pretty easy to get used to. That's all I gotta say about it.
And now, guys, on to number 5. And with the number 5 spot, we have the Dukes.
The Dukes was a fairly fun car to drive in and drift in. I like it. I'm not sure about any other people, but for some reason, it does feel like a long brick. To some people that I know, they say that it feels like they're trying to drift in a limo. It has lots of oversteer. It has lots of wheel spin. It's got a great acceleration. I'll try to get a double drift in. This is all live, so what you're seeing is what I'm saying. So as the video is going on, I'm talking with the video, and there's a wall there. So this car has a bit of oversteer, but it's not much to notice. It has lots of acceleration, and it just has a lot of wheel spin, which is great for a drifter. Drifting needs a lot of wheel spin, needs some oversteer, but not much. And then the rest, all it depends on is the driver. Depends on how well the driver can control the car and how well it can perform when they're trying to perform a drift. Some people think that without a spoiler it drifts better. I prefer with a spoiler on it, just because it lowers the amount of oversteer and actually helps it grip, as people would say, but you can't really tell that it's grip, just more handling, better cornering, and with drifting it, for some reason, gives it more of an acceleration, just from what I can tell from putting a spoiler on. That's all I got.
And now, on to number 4. Now, guys, at the number 4 spot, we have the Comet.
Yeah, this is a pretty fun car to drive in when it's completely maxed out, especially with a turbo, because then you're getting that extra wheel spin. But right now, as of now, this is What's Good Gaming's Comet. It's on his second character, so it doesn't have anything on it other than paint. And I like when it's maxed, when it has lots of wheel spin, a little bit of underturn, especially on the Comet. because you get that just extra bit of just wheel spin, and you can just max out the drift time. Like right now, this isn't the easiest to drift in. I have to hold the e-brake instead of just tap it like most cars. But when this car is maxed, it is an excellent and fun car to drive in just because of the amount of wheel spin that it gets off the start. I love driving this car. It's an amazing car to drift in. Just get those upgrades up and you're set.
And now, on to number 3. And now guys, at the number 3 spot, we have the Carbonizer.
Hey, this car just has just a shit ton of wheel spin. It is almost unbearable and pretty hard to use, but once you get the hang of it, it is an amazing drifting car. It has tons of oversteer, so it tends just to turn a lot when you don't need it to, or when you try to correct yourself, it tends to bob and weave back and forth. This car is really fun. It doesn't feel like a brick like some other drifting cars that we've done. It feels like a bullet. It's fast. It drifts nice and clean when you can get the hang of it. I like drifting this car when it's stock, not when it's maxed like it is now. This one's my personal Carbonizer. I don't like when this drifts at max just because of how much wheel spin it can get or how much it oversteers. But if you do tend to max it out, and if you're planning on drifting with it, stay away from the turbo. That gives it that little bit more wheel spin and just a little bit of oversteer. Because most people don't know, but the turbo does actually decrease your handling. So it tends to make it steer more in certain directions. That's all I gotta say about this car. I love it.
And now, onto the number 2 spot. And at the number 2 spot, we have the Banshee.
This is a pretty fun car to drive in. It performs well. It tends to correct itself, so it kind of like bobs and weaves back and forth. This car is pretty fun to drive in, especially when it's maxed. It has just the right amount of wheel spin, acceleration, and oversteer, to the point where it won't tend to spin out as much. The only bad part about it is extremely hard to control at high speeds. It needs to be toned down just a little bit. But this car, I love how it looks. I wish that they would add in a Supra, just because of its performance. But with certain paint jobs and certain body modifications that you put on this, you can make it look like Supra, and it pretty much performs like a Supra. But it's not. It's a Dodge Viper. It has lots of wheel spin, a lot of oversteer, and it's just an overall beast in general. That's all I gotta say.
And now onto the number 1 spot. And at the number 1 spot, y'all should have guessed it by now, is the Foote.
Hey, this car outperforms any other car that I have ever drifted in. It is amazingly fun and amazingly just ridiculously all over the place when it comes to drifting in it. It has just the right amount of wheel spin, especially when you get that tuner tire on it, because that's what it's supposed to be on it. You know that it's a sports car. It drifts better with tuner tires or lowrider tires with white walls. So if you guys want to get this car, you cannot buy it, unfortunately. I had to find this car myself. It's not that hard to find once you figure out a place that it starts to spawn, which it pretty much starts to spawn around everywhere. Sorry if you could hear my dog in the background. That's his cough. But this car has just the right amount of tire spin, and it's got just the right amount of oversteer. It doesn't tend to correct itself as much as it used to, back in old gen, it used to correct itself to the point where I didn't even like it anymore. But my friends started to get me to drive it more, and I got my own and drove it, and I love it. That's all I gotta say. Thank you for watching.
And thank you guys so much for watching this top 10 drift cars. I just want to say thank you, Diversity, for helping me out with this and providing your cars to help out.
Yeah,
Guys,
anytime.
remember, this is just a personal opinion list of cars. And if you do have any more that you would like to add to the list, please leave it down in the comments below. And like and subscribe to this video. And if you have any other car lists that you would like us to do, please again comment down in the comments down below. Thanks guys, and peace out.